Hi guys, this is the last episode of Season 10, so we'll be wrapping up our final game, looking at the final standings, revealing our Champion's Choice game, before announcing the plans for next season. For our last game of the season, we've ended up with a bit of a damp squib. There is at least a couple of fans of 10 Yard Fight, but for me, it's really not a great game. 10 Yard Fart or 10 Yard Shite are much more appropriate. Firstly, it's not clear whatsoever what you are supposed to do. Passes are easily intercepted, and you really have to apply quite specific tactics to make progress. Even once I got more used to the game mechanics, at no point did I find anything enjoyable in this one. Your player moves too slowly, and it's just a matter of time before the opponents catch you up and take you down. You go through repetitive cycles of restarting the offense and trying to make progress, typically passing across and either running or trying to make a pass up the field. For me personally, this is the worst game we've had in the competition, and makes wiping look great. I'm glad some people enjoy this, but it does nothing for me. So a bit of a disappointing end to the season, but the good news is we're done with it. Now on to the scores. I've had only 8 scores submitted, which is in part the game, and in part it being the end of the season. Graham hasn't played again, having already won the season, and we didn't hear from Paul, Juff, or Mancave either. Bringing up the rear is Blue Yak, who really didn't get on with this one. Retro Arcade Challenge is a bit ahead, but he didn't enjoy it either. Milthy and me are close at around 20,000 in 6th and 5th respectively. My Retro Tech did well for 4th, despite also not enjoying this one. Our top 3 all engaged quite well. Robert is in 3rd with 52,000. Bob has done very well for 2nd with 75,000. But taking his 4th win of the season, after we've had a number of early 80s classics, is Colin. He dominated from the off, and the win wasn't really in doubt. The only person over 100,000 and whole 50,000 ahead of Bob. This was a well-deserved win. With only 8 scores, and it being the last game of the season, I won't be doing any graphs this week. So let's look at the final standings for the season. We have 12 people making the 5-game minimum. With that 3rd place, Robert is up 2 into 8th, swapping places with Juff, who didn't play 10 Yard Shite. Above Robert, places haven't changed. Milthy has finished in 7th, just behind me in 6th. A bit of a drop there after the highs of last season. Bob is in 5th, a bit ahead of me, but also a chunk behind our 4th place finisher My Retro Tech. He's very close to Blue Yak, both around 460 points. Those two and Colin were battling for the podium places, but ultimately it's Colin who has stretched his legs, taking back-to-back wins, and ended up nearly 100 points ahead of those behind. With 4 wins for Colin, it's been a great season for him. At the top though, our winner was already set after 7 games. That was Graham, who's been dominant this season. He's had 4 wins and 3 second places, a performance that no one could keep up with. After I snagged the win last season, it's Graham regaining his crown. A well-deserved winner of Mamemeister's High Score Kerfuffle Season 10. So before I reveal the setup for next season, let's take a look at our Champion's Choice game. Graham won the season, but as the gent that he is, he's given the choice to Colin after his excellent performance this season. Colin's choice gives him the chance to play with his knob, and that game is Tempest, released by Atari in 1981. This is a vector display tube shooter that controls with a spinner. Legendary fun game, I think, which should be a bit of fun. We'll be starting on novice difficulty, and then the difficulty ramps up. As always with games that have unusual control schemes, people will need to try different things to get the one that works with them. It is okay with the D-pad, but a spinner will be best. Almost certainly a better game than the one we just had, so it should be decent. Now, let me reveal the plans for next season. We've been running through the years, and then the letter of the alphabet. I'm thinking now we maybe cycle through different genres. This should ensure that we get a good variety of games. What I propose is that we do a different genre every 2 weeks, and then select games of that genre. The genres I'd like each of you to propose, and then I'll do a random selection to decide which one comes next. Once the genre is decided, then please send me a game of that genre. For our first genre, I'm going to suggest that we start with the vertical scrolling shmup. These are usually pretty popular, so a good way to start the season I think. So please send me a vertical shmup for the selector next time, and a genre to define the game for the following episode. I'm happy for subgenres to be used, but the same genre won't be allowed. So after a vertical shmup, a horizontal shmup, or a fixed shooter are fine. I'll also accept loose-ish adherence to the genre. If I think you're taking the piss, I'll let you know. Ikaruga, for example, is indeed a puzzle game. So I look forward to your game and genre suggestions. I hope you'll enjoy playing some Tempest, and I'll be back in a couple of weeks for the first game of Season 11. See you then.